Okay, there you go. Okay, so any questions from last week? I should again mention doing Adi Lila, Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 4. And I think we started from text 181.
No, Prabhuji, 190.
Did we do 181?
No,
182?
we have finished up to 189.
No, 188, 189, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we will do 189, 190. 189 we do or 190?
190, Prabhuji.
Okay, we're doing 190 then. Okay, so any questions from last week?
No question, Prabhuji, we were not here.
Yes, of course. Anybody who was here?
Sorry about that.
Okay, all right, then we'll get going. So text 190, this is chapter 4, Adi Lila. Gopika darshane Krishner badhe prafullata se madhurya badhe jar nahik samata. When Lord Krishna sees the gopis, her joy increases. Sorry, his joy increases. And his unparalleled sweetness increases also. So this is what we were talking about last week also, that Krishna sees the gopis and their joy increases. And when he sees their joy increasing, then his joy increases. And then they see his joy increasing more, then their joy increases more, and the competition starts. A transcendental competition where there's no end. So joy keeps on increasing all the time. And similarly, Krishna's unparalleled sweetness means there's nobody as sweet as Krishna, but his sweetness also increases when he sees the joy on the faces of the gopis. 191.
That is the real love, Prabhuji.
I'm sorry?
That is the real love.
That's real love, Prabhuji. That's correct.
When to keep the other people happy, when to keep the Supreme Personality happy.
Yeah, that's right. 191. Amar darshane Krishna pail at sukh, et sukh, ei sukhe gopir prafulla angmukh. The gopis think Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me. That thought increases the fullness and beauty of the faces and the bodies. So this is real love. Krishnendiya priti vancha tar dhare naam prem naam. So basically, as soon as they see they have been able to satisfy Krishna's senses, as soon as they feel they have made Krishna happier, they become more happy. It's not about them being happy. It's about Krishna being happy that brings them the happiness. So actually, there's two kinds of happiness. One is primary happiness. One is secondary happiness. So primary happiness comes from satisfaction of our own senses. Secondary happiness comes from the satisfaction of the senses of someone we love. So the case of the gopis is secondary happiness because coming from the happiness of Krishna. They're happy because they have been able to make Krishna happy. So that's what he's saying here. They're thinking Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me. And just that thought that they have been able to make Krishna happy, it increases the fullness and beauty of their faces. It means they become more happy. So actually, everything they did was to ensure Krishna's happiness. There's a story, very short story, that somebody came to Radha Rani and said, Krishna is waiting for you at Radha Kund. And just the way she was, just got up and started running towards Krishna. And Lalita had to stop her. She said, no, he can't go like this. She said, what do you mean? He's waiting for me. She said, no, you can't go like this. Look at you. You have no mascara on. You have no makeup on. You're wearing this sari from yesterday. You have to go and change. Go wash your face, take a bath, put all the clothes, ornaments on, put your proper clothes on. Then you can go. I won't let you go. So once again, the idea was that that no matter what you do, Krishna has to feel happy. So even Lalita Sakhi's helping Radha Rani make Krishna more happy. Okay, 192. Gopi Shobha dekhi Krishner Shobha bale jat. Krishna Shobha dekhi Gopir Shobha bale jat. Tat. So again, that competition I was talking about. The beauty of Lord Krishna increases at the sight of the beauty of the gopis. And the more the gopis see Lord Krishna's beauty, the more their beauty increases. So Krishna, his own beauty increases when he sees how beautiful the gopis are. And the more the gopis see Krishna's beauty, their beauty increases. So once again, the competition is going on. 193. Ei mat paraspar pade hula holi, paraspar bade kehu dukh nahi modi. Sorry, kohi mukh nahi modi. In this way, a competition takes place between them in which no one acknowledges defeat. So this is not a competition where anybody would lose. Everybody wins because all the time their beauty and their joy is increasing. And nobody is accepting defeat because there's no defeat. You're happy, I'm happy. Because you're happy, I'm happier. Because I'm happier, you're happier. Because you're happier, I'm more happier. And it keeps on going. It keeps on going. 194. किंतु कृष्णेर सुख होय गोपी रूप गुणे तार सुखे सुख वृद्धि होय गोपी गणे. Krishna, however, derives pleasure from the beauty and good qualities of the gopis. And when the gopis sees pleasure, the joy of the gopis increases. So again, same point being made again. Krishna sees the beauty and the good qualities of the gopis, he becomes happy. And gopis see Krishna happy, they become more happy, and they're also happier. 195. अतएव सही सुख कृष्ण सुख पोषे यही हेतु गोपी प्रेम नाहि काम दोषे. Therefore, we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of the Lord. Sorry, joy of Lord Krishna. For that reason, the fault of lust is not present in their love. So let's read the purport. Who wants to read the purport?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
By looking at the beautiful gopis, Krishna become enlivened and lived, and his enlivens the gopis, whose youthful faces and bodies blossom. The competition of increasing beauty between the gopis and Krishna, which is without limitations, is so delicate that sometimes mundane moralists mistake these dealings to be purely amorous. But these affairs are not at all mundane, because the gopis' intense desire to satisfy Krishna surcharges the entire scene with pure love of Godhead, with not a spot of sexual indulgence.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, all these verses, what have we noticed? We have noticed that Krishna's pleasure is coming from seeing the beauty
Of the gopis.
of the gopis. Where is the gopis' pleasure coming from?
From seeing the Krishna happy.
From seeing Krishna happy and Krishna's beauty. So neither party is doing this for their own sense gratification.
Yep.
Both doing it for the sense gratification of the other. And that is the definition of love versus lust. Now, the interesting thing is, in all the scriptures, the word in Sanskrit that's used for the love between Gopi and Krishna is calm. But calm is a misunderstood word. Because calm usually means lust, which means sense gratification of our own. But in the case of the gopis, that is not the case. The word calm is used, but it means prem, pure love. That's what purport is saying. It's not a trace of sexual indulgence or lust, because neither party is doing it for their own pleasure. Whatever they're doing in their interactions is for the pleasure of the other side. And that's what makes it prem. Okay, 196. उपेत पतिसुंदरी ततिभिर आभिर अभ्यर्चितम स्मितांकुरा करम वितैर नटद अपांग भंगी शतय स्तन स्तवक संचारन Nayan Chancharikanchalam Raje Vijayinam Bhaje Vipin Deshatah Keshavam. Translation. I worship Lord Keshava coming back from the forest of Vrija. He is worshipped by the gopis who mount the roofs of their palaces and meet him on the path with 100 manners of dancing glances and gentle smiles. The corners of his eyes wander like large black bees around the gopis' breasts. This statement appears in Keshvashtaka of the Stavmala, compiled by Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami is saying here, I worship Lord Krishna. Which mood of Krishna, what time and what circumstance is when he's coming back from the forest, which means taken care of the cows. Now he's coming back to Vrindavan. When he comes back to Vrindavan, he's being worshipped by the gopis in a very special way. They don't have the arti on and they're not reading the mantras, and there's no archman going on. No. What do? They're worshipping by mounting the roofs of their palaces.
Correct.
Or they meet him on the path. So they are on the roof. He's on the path. How are they meeting? They're meeting by showing their dancing glances and gentle smiles. So they're making these poses, dancing poses, and they're glancing at him. And their eyes are dancing. Krishna's eyes are also dancing. So the glances are dancing and they're both smiling very nicely, gently. And that is their meeting. So it's the meeting with the glances and smiles, not physically. Because one is on the road and one is on the roof. But they're meeting. And same thing is happening. They're both very happy because they're making each other happy. So Rupa Goswami was saying, that Krishna I worship. So what is the mood of Krishna at this time? When he's coming back, he's glancing at the gopis and they're glancing back at him and they're smiling gently. So what is his mood? His mood is he's full of love. His heart is brimming with love. It's coming out of his heart. So when somebody's at too much of something and you make him happy, what does he do?
It's
Sorry,
they give you what they have.
yeah, exactly. So whatever they got too much of, they're very happy to give it to you. So now Krishna's had a lot of love. He's very happy to give to anybody who's worshipping him. So Rupa Goswami is saying, that Keshava, that Govinda, that Krishna, I'm worshipping. Because he's just freely going to distribute the love of himself. Okay. 197. आर एक गोपी प्रेमेर स्वाभाविक चिन्ह जे प्रकारे होए प्रेम काम गंधहीन. This is another natural symptom of the gopi's love that shows it is to be without a trace of lust. So now we're talking about, the previous verse talked about why it was not lust, it was love. Now it's going to give another reason why it's love, not lust. 198. गोपी प्रेमेर करे कृष्ण माधुर्य रे पुष्टि माधुर्य बढ़ाए प्रेम होया महातुष्टि. The love of the gopis nourishes the sweetness of Lord Krishna. See, Krishna needs to be nourished as well. It's not like Krishna is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has everything. He's Atma Ram and all those kind of things. No. His love, his body, everything needs nourishment in Lila, but it needs nourishment. So, who provides the nourishment for his body?
Mother Yashoda.
Mother Yashoda. Who provides the nourishment for his beauty and sweetness?
Gopis.
Gopis.
The love of the gopis.
Yep.
The love of the gopis nourishes the sweetness of Lord Krishna. That sweetness in turn increases their love, but they are really satisfied. So where is this real satisfaction coming from? By seeing the sweetness of Krishna, by seeing it increasing, they feel They are nourishing its sweetness. That's why increasing is getting more healthy. And that's what gives them the joy. So once again, it's all about Krishna. It's all about the other side. Okay, 199. Priti Vishayanande tad ashrayananda taha nahi nij sukh vanchara sambandh. The happiness of the abode of love. Who's the abode of love? In here? In this scenario?
Krishna,
No.
abode of love.
Abode of love is Radha Rani Gopis.
Okay.
Okay. The object of love is Krishna. So object of love is Krishna, abode of love is Radha Rani or Gopis. So the happiness of both is being talked about. It says the happiness of the Gopis, the abode of love, is in the happiness of the object of love, Krishna. So their happiness is coming from the happiness of Krishna. If Krishna is not happy, they're not happy. Krishna is happy, they're happy. Krishna is happy seeing their beauty, and they're happy seeing them. See him rather. And when they see him getting happier, their beauty increases, which increases the happiness of Krishna. They see him happier, their beauty increases more. Their beauty increases more. Krishna says, wait a minute, I'm happier now. They see him happier, comes back. And that is why, let me rephrase, let me put a question. Lord Chaitanya comes every time Krishna comes, about 4,500 years later. How often does Krishna come? Any ideas? How frequently does Krishna come to material world?
Also once in a day of Brahma.
Once in a day of Brahma, which is 311 trillion years.
Yeah.
Every time Krishna comes, Lord Chaitanya comes. How many days in the life of Brahma?
Once, Prabhu.
Huh? How many
One
days? His own days. His
Yeah.
own days in the life of Brahma.
100 days.
No, his lifetime.
100 years. 100 years.
100 years. So 100 years times
100 years.
365.
Correct.
360
300.
actually. Right?
Mhm.
So 36,000 or something like that days. Which means in
Yes.
one Brahma's lifetime, Krishna appears 36,000 times. Okay? With me, everybody?
No, can you repeat this last line? Sorry, Sir Prabhuji.
Yes. So one time every day of Brahma,
Hmm.
Krishna appears.
Yes.
In lifetime of Brahma, how many days of Brahma? 360 multiplied by 100. Because
Okay.
each year has 360 days, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
So 360 times 100 is how many? Who knows math?
36.
Huh?
Itarakam.
How many?
3,600.
Sorry?
36,000.
36,000. Everybody agree?
Yes.
360 multiplied by 100 is 36,000.
Hmm.
So that means in one lifetime of Brahma, Krishna appears 36,000 times.
Oh,
Everybody with me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Prabhu.
Okay. So that means Lord Chaitanya also appears 36,000 times,
Hmm.
right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, the question is, Krishna comes once, and now he's got the mood of, Krishna comes once as Lord Chaitanya, and now he understands the mood of Radha Rani. Now he understands the love of Radha Rani. Now he understands how much pleasure she gets. Now he understands the nature of love of Radha Rani, right? First time, one is enough. He's intelligent, right?
Hmm.
He's very intelligent. Lord Chaitanya,
Yeah.
they are both very intelligent. So
Hmm.
one experience is enough to tell them. So
Hmm.
now he says, okay, now I understand.
Hmm.
Agreed? Everybody agreed?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhu.
Well, then why does he come back again?
Because the
Prabhuji,
love
When
increases.
the relation increases.
it's ever
Yes.
increasing.
So every time it's new. Every time it's brand new. Right? Everybody with me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
Yes.
every time he's tasting something new, experiencing something new. Because everything has increased. Every time. So that's why he keeps coming back. He says, oh, I understood last time, but now it's changed. I got to understand again. Okay, so every time Krishna appears, Lord Chaitanya also appears. Okay. All right, so 200. निरुपाधि प्रेम जहाँ तहा ऐ रीति प्रीति विषय सुखे आश्रय प्रीति निज प्रेमानंदे कृष्ण सेवानंद बाधे से आनंदेर प्रति भक्तेर होय महाक्रोधे. Very interesting. Whenever there is unselfish love, that is its style. The reservoir of love derives pleasure when the lovable object is pleased. So once again, who is the reservoir of love?
Krishna.
No.
Chaitanya.
Let's get this right.
Oh, Radha.
Radha
Radha
Rani.
Rani,
Radha
gopis.
Rani.
And when the lovable object is pleased, who's the lovable object?
Krishna.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
So reservoir of love is Radha Rani or gopis. Lovable object is Krishna. So reread this line. So when gopis or the Radha Rani derives pleasure when Krishna is pleased. Okay, just rereading that line. Everybody with me?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Now understood.
Okay, good. When the pleasure of love interferes with the services of Lord Krishna, the devotee becomes angry towards such ecstasy. This is heavy and this is very important and this is beautiful. Let me read this again. When the pleasure of love, see, we're all talking about the pleasure everybody's getting,
Yeah.
Krishna is getting, gopis are getting. But when that pleasure interferes with the service of Lord Krishna, so the pleasure you're feeling is now somehow not allowing you to serve Krishna, then the devotee becomes very angry towards that ecstasy. Are you with me? Purport will make it clear, but to understand the point being made. When a devotee cannot serve Krishna because of the ecstasy they are feeling, they become very angry with that ecstasy.
Oh, got it. So
Everybody
they
got it?
don't want, they don't want any disturbance.
Any disturbance. And let's read the purport and that'll make it more clear. Who wants to read the purport?
I'll do, Prabhu.
Go ahead, Mataji.
As mentioned above, the gopis are the predominated lovers, and Sri Krishna is the predominator, the beloved. The love of the predominated nourishes the love of the predominator. The gopis had no desire for selfish enjoyment. Their feelings of happiness was indirect, for it was depend on the pleasure of Krishna. Causeless love of Godhead is always so. Such pure love is possible only when a predominated is made happy by the happiness of the predominator. Such unadulterated love is exemplified with the lover deprecates her
Deprecates.
happiness,
Yeah.
deprecates her happiness if it hinders her from discharging her service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go back. Who's the predominated in this scenario? Gopis and Krishna? Who's the
Krishna.
Who's predominated?
Krishna.
Go,
No,
Gopi,
no, no.
The
Gopis,
gopis are predominated.
Gopis.
Gopis are predominated and Krishna is.
Gopis or Radha Rani.
I know, yeah, one side Gopi rather included.
Yeah,
And who's the predominator?
her is Krishna.
Krishna. So the beloved is predominator, that's Krishna. Lover is predominated, and that's gopis. Is that clear?
Yes.
Gopi is the lover, Krishna is the loved or beloved. Gopis are predominant. What does predominant mean? Literal meaning. Anybody knows?
To
who
overpower
is
some.
I'm sorry?
Preda,
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand.
Go ahead, mother.
no, dominating the action. I don't know whether I do
Okay,
it
Gayatri.
properly.
Gayatri, you were saying?
I was saying to overpower somebody else.
Predominated.
Prabhuji, one who
Emphasis-
has more influence or power over the other.
Emphasizing.
No, the other way. Predominated is the one who is submitting. Predominator is the one who is causing the submission.
Receiving.
The one who's dominating is predominator, who's the one who's being dominated is predominated. Is that clear? Madhumata, you got such a quizzical look on your face. Okay. So, does everybody understand the word dominate? What does the word dominate mean?
To rule or
The one who put influence over the other one.
Correct. That's to dominate. So dominator is the one who's influencing the other person in a forceful way. Dominated is the person who's being forced. Right? So just add the prefix pre. So predominator is one who's being forced. Predominator is the one who's forcing.
Yeah.
Okay? Or who's controlling.
Yes.
और he's जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना छा गए हैं तो
हाँ.
छा गए हैं वो प्रिडोमिनेटर जिनके ऊपर छा गए हैं वो प्रिडोमिनेटेड
Yep.
Okay, everybody clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so now the gopis are the predominated lovers. In other words, they are submissive. Krishna is the predominated beloved, means he is dominating over these gopis. He's causing the submission. They're submitting to him. Okay, is that clear? So
Yes.
as we discussed in the previous verse, the love of the predominated, means the gopis, nourishes the love of the predominator, meaning Krishna. So gopis' love is nourishing the love of Krishna. Okay? The gopis had no desire for selfish enjoyment. They're not doing it for themselves. Okay? The feeling of happiness was indirect. So it was dependent on the pleasure of Krishna. So this is what I was talking about earlier also. There's dependent pleasure and there's independent pleasure. So once again, what do you think independent pleasure means? What is independent pleasure?
Krishna
Independent.
is not in center. That is independent.
Sorry, but I say again.
If Krishna is not in the center of happiness, that is independent pleasure.
Okay, so you're doing it for your own. Yeah, correct. What
For
is
self. Pleasure for self.
correct? What is dependent pleasure?
When the pleasure is depending on the other
Other
person.
person.
Okay, so which is better in this context, dependent pleasure or independent pleasure?
Dependent pleasure.
Correct.
Dependent.
So dependent pleasure is better. Dependent pleasure is what's being called prem. Independent pleasure will be called calm.
Yep.
Difference between lust and love.
So like I am depending on Krishna if he is happy with me or not. I'm just depending on him.
It's not just question depending. Your happiness coming from Krishna's happiness. That's dependent pleasure. When your happiness coming from your own sense gratification, that's independent pleasure.
Yeah.
Usha, you with me?
One more time, Prabhu, please repeat.
Yeah, sure. So when I'm worrying about my own sense pleasure, independent of Krishna, that is called independent pleasure. And that is called lust. When my pleasure depends upon Krishna's pleasure, that's a dependent pleasure. And that is called love. Now you're with me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Mataji. So,
Prabhuji.
causeless. Sorry, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I understood what you said, independent and dependent pleasure, but in case of gopis and Radha Rani, I'm not able to define the independence.
Theirs is always dependent pleasure.
Always. Okay. Thank you.
Dependent.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what's being talked about, all this last few verses. And that is what makes it prem. Krishnendriya priti vancha tare bole prem. Atmendriya priti vancha tare bole kam, or something like that. So if we are worrying about our own sense gratification, that's kam, lust. If you're worrying about Krishna's sense gratification, that's called prem, love.
Prem.
Okay. So all this verse we've talked today is about love, which is because it's always about Krishna's pleasure. Gopis are getting happy because they're seeing Krishna happy. Okay. Such pure love is possible only when the predominated is made. Somebody's got their audio on. So can you just mute yourself, please? Everybody, please mute yourself. Everyone. Okay. So you can unmute when you need to talk. So, such pure love is possible only when the predominator is made happy by the happiness of the predominator. Meaning, pure love is when one party who's submissive is getting happiness from the happiness of the one who's dominating. Such unadulterated love is exemplified when the lover deprecates her happiness in service that hinders her from discharging it. So this is the key point here. Such unadulterated love. So why is it unadulterated? Why is this love unadulterated?
It has no selfish motive.
Sorry?
It has no selfish motive.
So
Okay.
it's without lust. It's without lust.
It's
Okay.
pure love.
Okay. Because
It's
about the
It's the pleasure for the other partner.
other party with no desire for own pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay. The only pleasure we're getting is from the pleasure of the other side. That's called unadulterated. Prabhupada used to use the term unalloyed. Same thing. Okay. So such unadulterated love is exemplified when the lover deprecates her happiness. Do you know what deprecates means? Everybody knows the word deprecate? Deprecate means not appreciate, shoot it down. It's bad. Her happiness is service that hinders her from discharging it. So if I'm developing some symptoms of ecstasy, and because of that, I'm not able to do my service to Krishna, then I'm not happy. Okay? Everybody with me? So let me give you an example. There's an example coming in the next verse, but also let me give you another example. One time, Mother Rukmini, who's Rukmini?
Krishna's wife.
Lord Krishna's wife. She was fanning Lord Krishna, who was lying on the bed. She was standing there or sitting on the bed, maybe, fanning him. And as she was fanning him, her love increased more and more and more. And she started crying. She was crying so much in that loving ecstasy that she couldn't see Krishna anymore because her ears were filled with tears. She couldn't see Krishna anymore. She said, what kind of ecstasy is this? I don't want this ecstasy because I can't see my lover anymore. She started fanning. I don't want to do the service because now I can't see my Krishna. So that's deprecating her service.
Okay.
Because keeping her from doing her service. Everybody with me on that?
Yes,
Yep.
Prabhuji.
Okay, let's do 202, but another example. Ang stambharambham tungayantam premanandam daruko nabhi anandat kansarater vijane yen sakshat akshodiyan antarayo vedhayi. Translation. She Daruka. Who's Daruka?
Lord's chariot driver. Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Shidaruka did not relish his ecstatic feelings of love, for they caused his limbs to become stunned, and this obstructed his service of finding Krishna, Lord Krishna. So another example, Daruka, the chariot driver of Krishna, is finding Krishna, but as he started feeling the ecstasy of love, his body became stunned, means he can't move, like statue. His hands cannot move, his body cannot move, therefore he cannot find anymore. And he's saying, what's the use of this ecstasy if I can't serve my Lord? So that's another example. I mean, that's the level of ecstasy they're feeling. I don't want to feel this ecstasy because keeping me from doing service. So again, my ecstasy is not important. My service to Krishna is important because that's making Krishna happy. Right? Both in the example of Rukmini and Daruka, that's the feeling. If I can't serve Krishna, then I don't want ecstasy or anything. What's the use of my joy, my ecstasy, my pleasure, if I'm not allowed to serve I'm not able to serve my Krishna? That's the level. And that is why it's praying. It's all about serving Krishna. Okay? Let's go to 203. Govinda Prekshanakshepi Bashpa Purabhi Varshunam Uchair Anindad Anandam Arvind Vilochana. The lotus-eyed Radha Rani powerfully condemned the ecstatic love that caused a flow of tears that hindered her sight of Govinda. So same thing. Radha Rani had the same problem. I can't see my Krishna. What's the use of this ecstasy? Seeing Krishna is more important. Okay. 204.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
I
Krishna,
have a
mother.
question.
Bolo.
So, Rukmani stopped fanning Krishna, and just because she couldn't see out of her tears, she couldn't
No.
see him.
So
Right?
momentarily. So basically, her difficulty was not with fanning. Her difficulty was that
Not seeing.
she was not able to see. So she was saying, what's the use of this ecstasy if it keeps me from seeing my lover Krishna? Daru
Right.
couldn't even fan
Because
because the body became stunned.
yeah,
When he's
I
saying,
was like, she just stopped fanning because she couldn't see. So fanning is more important because service is more
right,
important.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay.
Because if I'm saying, oh, I cannot see, that's I'm fulfilling my senses rather than serving.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. That she was basically deprecating her ecstasy, that my ecstasy is preventing me from seeing my Krishna. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhu. So implying that gopis love is different than the Rukminis. Is that what you're trying to establish here?
Not at all. Not at all. That's
No.
why the example of Radha Rani is here. In verse 203 that we just read, it says, Radha Rani condemned the ecstatic love that caused a flow of tears that hindered her sights of Govinda. So Rukmini is doing exactly the same thing. Right? Did I not understand?
I think the problem is with that example is, to us it seems like the service is her fanning Krishna, but I think what you're saying is the service is to be able to see Krishna.
No. Maybe I didn't say it right. What I was saying was she is not appreciating the ecstasy that she's getting, that's preventing her seeing Krishna. She's fanning. But along with fanning, she wants to be able to see Krishna. Exactly the same thing 203. Verse 203. Exactly the same thing I'm saying. The flow of tears that hindered her sight of Govinda. Read the translation of 203.
But does she stop fanning? I guess
No,
that's what
that's what I'm saying. She's
confusing
not
us.
stopping fanning. She's
Okay,
cursing her
okay.
ecstasy.
Yeah,
She's cursing her ecstasy that, hey, your tears, I can't see my Krishna.
yeah.
Daru couldn't do it because his body became stunned. And he was saying, what is this? I can't serve my Krishna. Rukmani and Radha Rani saying, because his body became stunned. They are not stunned. There's tears in their eyes. Are you with me or no? Let's go
Sorry,
back.
I was confused.
Yes,
So you're
Prabhu.
saying that there are two types of seva. One is the fanning is one part of the seva, and the other is looking at Krishna is also another seva, and then she
Okay,
halted second seva. Is that
you
what
got
you're
it. Yes,
implying?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I hope that makes it more clear to everybody. Gayatri? Yes, no?
Looking
Yes.
at Krishna is also seva?
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Really?
Okay. So 204. आर शुद्ध भक्त कृष्ण प्रेम सेवा बिने स्वसुखार्थ सालोक्य आदि न करे ग्रहणे. Furthermore, pure devotees never forsake the loving service of Lord Krishna to aspire for their own personal pleasure to the 5 kinds of liberation. Purport. A pure devotee of Krishna who loves him exclusively will flatly refuse to accept any sort of liberation, beginning from merging with the body of the Lord and extending to the other varieties of liberation, such as equality of form, opulence or abode, and the opulence of living near the Lord. So, Krishna says, I will give liberation to my pure devotees. The pure devotee says, I don't need that. I don't need that. What do I need? I just need Mam Janmani Janmeshwar Bhaktat Bhakti Rahatki Tvai. I don't want mukti. I don't want liberation. I just want opportunity to serve you in an unalloyed manner, life after life after life. I don't even want mukti. Krishna says, no, I'll give it to you anyway. The devotee says, well, okay, fine, but don't you dare give me the Sayuji Mukti. What is the difference? What is the main difference between Sayuji Mukti and the other four kinds?
Prabhuji, is it? It's like
Sorry, Aditi, what's that?
in Sayuj Mukti, the devotee want to serve Krishna. They don't want to
No,
have any.
hold on. So let me explain. Sayuji means merging in Brahman effulgence.
Oh, so no, they don't want it.
Okay.
Devotees don't want it.
So that's the question. Why? Okay,
Because
Aditi.
they don't want to serve Krishna. If they are merging in the effluence, they can't serve.
Okay, that's it. That's exactly right. And this is why the impersonalists and the demons, when they are given liberation, they go to Brahman effulgence. Why? Because they have no desire to serve. So they can stay there. But the devotee says, I can't serve there, that's worse than hell. Because in hell I can serve. Brahman effulgence, there's no opportunity to serve. So I don't want to go there. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, 205. मद गुण श्रुति मात्रेण मयि सर्व गुहाश्रये मनोगति रविच्छिन्ना जथा गंगा से हो अम्बुधौ. Just as the celestial waters of the Ganges flow unobstructed into the ocean, so when my devotees simply hears of me, their minds come to me who reside in the hearts of all. So Krishna, this Krishna is speaking now. He's saying, has anybody been to where Ganges merges the ocean? It's a place in Gujarat. And I've been, sorry?
No.
So, and
Maybe Ganga Sagar? No.
I don't know what Ganga Sagar is. Ganga Sagar is in Calcutta, I think. That's where Kapil Dev was there.
I just heard it.
Yeah, I think that's the Kapil Muni place.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, so the flow of the river is very fast there. And there are boulders and stones, this and that. It doesn't care, it goes around them, it goes fast. So, Mother Kunti said the same prayer, and now Krishna is saying the same thing. Just as the waters of Ganges flow unobstructed into the ocean, similarly, my devotees' minds go to Krishna simply by hearing of it.
Yeah.
Right? The devotee's mind doesn't go anywhere else. Okay, there's no deviation, there's no obstruction, it just flows directly. Okay, and there's a reason why I'm saying that. So let's do that the next one. Next 206. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hi udahratam ahatuki avyavahita ya bhakti purushottame. Translation. These are the characteristics of transcendental loving service to Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is causeless and cannot be obstructed in any way. So again, Krishna is saying, you can't stop your devotee from serving me. There's no obstruction. We always talk about, oh, this obstacle, that obstacle. Not for pure devotees. There's no obstacles. And pure devotees love is causeless because he doesn't want anything for himself. Anya abhilashita shunyam. Okay. 207. Salokya Shasti Sarupya Samipya Samipya Akatvam Apyuta Diyamanam Nagrihananti Vinamat Sevanam Jana. So again, same thing we were talking about before. My devotees do not accept Salokya, Shasti, Sarupya, Samipya, or oneness with me, the Sayuj, even if I offer these liberations in preference to serving me. So even if I offer the liberation of any of these five kinds, devotees say, no, I would rather serve you. So Mam Janmani Janmeshware Bhavtat Bhakti Rahatki Tvai. Lord Chaitanya is expressing the same feeling. Let me be born again and again and again and again. right? Because I just want to simply serve you without any cause. Okay. And this verse was spoken by Kapil Dev. Okay. 208. Matsevya pratitam te salokyadi chatushayam nechanti sevaya purna kuto anyat kal viplutam. Translation. My devotees, having fulfilled their desires by serving me, do not accept the 4 kinds of salvation that are easily earned by such service. Why then should they accept any pleasure that are lost in the course of time? So read the purport somebody, then I'll explain.
I can
I
read.
think- Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Madhumata is so generous.
This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 9.4.67 was spoken by the Lord in connection with the characteristics of Maharaj Amrisha. Merging into the existence of the Absolute is as temporary as living in the celestial kingdom. Both of them are controlled by time. Neither position is permanent.
Yeah. So again, Krishna is saying, why would a devotee want anything that's bound by time? So whether it's the heavenly kingdom or even the merging in the Brahman effulgence, they're all time bound. Sooner or later you come back. So why would my devotee want that when they can get something that's eternal? That's my service. Right? I was talking about to Durvasa Muni about Ambarish Maharaj. He doesn't want anything material, anything that's bound by time. So doesn't want mukti, doesn't want bhukti. Neither one. He just wants service. Okay? 209.
Prabhuji,
हाँ
one question.
हाँ बोलो.
Here Krishna is talking about pure devotees or devotees in general.
No, he's talking about pure devotees.
Okay.
Because devotees have desires, material desires.
Hmm.
Pure devotees don't.
So, yeah, so pure devotees. So Krishna is talking about pure devotees. I do understand that. Sometimes we talk about materialistic people, so we do understand that. But people like me who are not fit in the category of pure devotees, not fit in the category of typical material people, what about us?
What about you? You are Sakam Bhakta. You're still devotee, but you're
But with
Sakam Bhakta. So you have material desires, but you're still a devotee. You're serving Krishna and you're trying to become material desireless. Not desireless, that's not possible, but material desire. So trying to dovetail all your material desires into Krishna's service. Try to spiritualize your desires. That's called sadhaka. That's what we are.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Huh.
So we are living in this material world. No matter how much we do bhakti, we claim to do, or we humbly do, we still have material desires. I don't
Okay.
see anyone other than the Maharaj and Gurus that they only don't have any material desires.
Okay. So
We
what's the
do
point?
have some attachments, desires for children.
Okay. So what's the point though?
Then we can never be a pure devotee.
Say again, sorry?
Then we can never be a pure devotee.
Well, what makes you say that? Never is very long period. So why do you say that?
Because we always will have desires
Okay.
somehow or other.
But so how did this, what you call Maharajas, become Maharajas? Were they at one time in their previous life like you and me?
Unless I become a guru.
No. Guru doesn't make you pure devotee. Becoming guru does not make you pure devotee. So don't think that, okay, I can become a guru and I'll become pure devotee. It doesn't work that. That's called Guru Ghantal, bogus guru.
Prabhuji, right, appropriate sadhana
Huh.
can make us pure devotee, you know.
So again, Rupa Goswami has given the sequence in which it happens. Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sang, Ath Bhajan Kriya, Sat Arth Nivritti, Tato Nishtha, Nishtha, what's the next one? Rati, and then, sorry, Asakti, Rati, Bhav, Prem. That's the sequence you need to go. Everybody has to go through in that sequence. It's a slow process, but it works. So eventually we'll get there. Otherwise, why are we doing this bhakti? If we'll never get there, why are we doing it? But Krishna says guaranteed. Purpose is very simple. He said, if you chant attentively and follow the four relative principles, guaranteed you'll go back home back to Godhead. This means you become a devotee. So the formula is simple. Execution is difficult. Right? But it's there. The process is there. This we have to do it. We have to take it.
That is why we are following this thing.
That's exactly right. That's why we're following it.
Otherwise, no use.
Otherwise, no use.
If we don't have any hope, then what we will do, why we will do this thing?
That's right. We are known as Ashabad. We always have hope. We're doing it in the hope that one day we'll get there.
That is also a desire again, right?
No, but material versus spiritual. Spiritual desire is that one day I want to serve Krishna without material motivation. That's a very nice desire. That's a spiritual desire.
We also see in our society, in ISKCON society, there are some brahmacharis and they are not Maharajas, but they have completely renounced everything.
Yeah, but again, renouncing doesn't mean they become pure, but it's easier when you renounce everything.
Correct.
Right?
The purest devotee, they don't even desire that. They just do nishkam without thinking anything. They just do the seva. I mean,
correct.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he just the chanting without thinking that he's doing it or for somebody or for something.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. Okay. All right, so let's do 208.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You're welcome. Matsevya pratitam te salokyadishtatustayam nechanti sevya purna kuto anyat kal viplutam. My devotees, having fulfilled their desires by serving me, okay, we just did that, sorry, we just did that. 209. Kam gandhhin swabhavik gopi prem nirmal ujjwal shuddha jain dagdh hem. The natural love of the gopis is devoid of any trace of lust. It is faultless, bright and pure like molten gold. So when you melt the gold, all the contamination goes away and only the pure gold is left. So similarly, the gopis have already lost all lust. There's no lust, so there's pure love. This pure love is faultless, bright, and pure. Excuse me. 210. Krishner Sahai Guru Bandhava Prayasi Gopika Hoen Priya Shishya Sakhi Dasi. The gopis are helpers, teachers, friends, wives, dear disciples, confidants, and serving maids of Lord Krishna. Now, this is very interesting. It's being said that the gopis are helping Krishna, the teaching Krishna, the friends of Krishna, the wives of Krishna, the disciples of Krishna, the confidant of Krishna, and the serving maid of Krishna. What's left? There's nothing left. So they're everything to Krishna. And goes on further. 211. Sahaya Guru Vahashishya Bhujishya Bandhavastriya Satyam Padamite Partha Gopya Kimme Bhavantina. O Partha, I speak to you the truth. The gopis are my helpers, teachers, disciples, servants, friends, and consorts. I do not know what they are not to me. Krishna is saying they're everything to me. They're everything to me. This is Krishna's indebtedness, is Krishna's appreciation of the love of the gopis. He doesn't speak like that for us. We're not there. We're saying gopis are like that. 212. Gopika janere Krishnere manere vanchit prem seva paripati isht samihit. The gopis know Krishna's desires and they know how to render perfect loving service for his enjoyment. They perform their service expertly for the satisfaction of their beloved. So again, without being a pure devotee, you cannot do this. What does Krishna say? How can Gita, what does Krishna say? How can you know me?
Can you repeat the question?
What does Krishna say, Gita, how you can know him? The only way.
As you said, Prabhu, just now, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati.
Yeah. The only way we can know Krishna is by performance of devotional service. Only a pure devotee knows what Krishna wants. That is why we depend upon Guru Maharaj. Tell us what Krishna wants. But he knows, we don't. Okay? So, here it's saying, the gopis know Krishna's desires. And not only they know what he wants, they know how to render perfect loving service. So, I always give the example of, if somebody invites me to their house and they make a lot of Karela, they can work all day they want, but I will not be happy. I don't like Karela. Right? So, if you're inviting me, know what I want, know what I like. Similarly, what's the use of serving Krishna if you're not giving him what he wants?
Correct.
Right? So we have to know, but only way we know Krishna is from the scriptures and from our Guru. And then accordingly, we perform pure devotional service. Krishna says, I'm going to reveal myself to you. Then we know. Then we know Krishna's desires. But gopis know this already. So they know how to render perfect loving service for his enjoyment. And they perform this service expertly for the satisfaction of their beloved. They're very expert at whatever they do. It's dancing or cooking or talking, singing, playing music. They're very expert on it. But they don't play it for themselves. They don't do it for themselves. They only do it for Krishna. 213. Man mahatmyam mat saparyam mat shraddham man manogatam jananti gopika partha nanye jananti tatvataha. So beautiful. Oh Partha, the gopis know my greatness, my loving service, respect for me, and my mentality. Others cannot really know this. So this is the byproduct of loving Krishna purely. Then you get to know everything about Krishna. And this is why a lot of times wives will say correctly that I know everything about my husband. You know, what he's thinking, what he's doing, what he likes, what he doesn't like. Wives know. Mother and wife, the other two people know very well. Others don't. But both stem from the love for the person. The same thing here, because gopis love him perfectly, everything, they're knowing his greatness, loving service, respect for him, mentality, completely perfect knowledge. Which says nobody else can know. Okay? 214. Sei gopi ganam madhye uttama radhika. Now it's coming. Rupe gune saubhagye preme sarvadhika. So now, so far we're talking gopi, 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 gopi. Now among the gopis, there's one special one. Among the gopis, sorry?
Radha Rani is the foremost.
Right. Among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, in good qualities, in good fortune, and above all, in love. Nobody loves Krishna the way Radha Rani loves. I was talking the other day, if you take the most beautiful woman on earth, the damsels of heavenly kingdom, Apsaras, are 1,000,000 times more beautiful. The Lakshmis are 1,000,000 times more beautiful than those girls. The wives of Krishna in Dwarka are 1,000,000 times more beautiful than Lakshmis. The gopis are 1,000,000 times more beautiful than the wives of Dwarka. And Radha Rani is 1,000,000 times more beautiful than the gopis. We can't even imagine what that means. We can't even imagine. We can't even conceive what that means. But that's who Radha Rani is. Similarly, all her other skills, good qualities, good fortune, and above all, love, is above the rest of them. Even the gopis cannot match that. Okay, among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most exalted. She's the most beautiful, the most qualified, and above all, the greatest lover of Krishna. Now something, topic is changing now, 215. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnos Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saiveka Vishnor Atyanti Vallabha. From Padma Puran. Just as Radha is dear to Lord Krishna, so her bathing place, Radhakund, is dear to him. She alone is his most beloved of all the gopis. Of all the gopis, Krishna loves Radha Rani the most. Later on, we will see.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's
Sorry?
breaking, Prabhu.
Sorry, somebody stop talking to me? Otherwise,
Prabhuji,
just
you
mute
were
it.
breaking. Couldn't hear you.
I'm
It's
sorry?
breaking.
I'm sorry?
It's
We couldn't
breaking.
hear you, Prabhuji. You were
Oh, I'm
breaking.
sorry. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. Same.
We can't hear you, Prabhu.
We can't hear you.
No video, no audio. No voice. Prabhuji, there is no sound. We cannot hear anything.
We can't hear you, Prabhuji.
Okay, how about now?
It is okay now.
Now we could
Good
hear
now,
you.
Prabhu.
Okay, good. I don't know what happened. Okay, at least I did my own technical resolution. Okay, I'm sorry, but so where were we where you could hear me?
We were on 215.
Okay, so let's read 215 again. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnos Tasya Kundam Priyam Tatha Sarva Gopishu Sevaika Vishnor Atyanta Vallabha. Just as Radha is dear to Lord Krishna, so her bathing place is dear to him. She alone is his most beloved of all the gopis. So this is from Padma Puran. Now, so he's saying that I love Radha and I also love Radha's Kunda, Radha Kund. But go back to the verse. Is there something that catches your attention for some reason? One particular word? Read the first line. Is there anything in the first line and last line? Same word occurs in first line, second line, last line, I mean. And it should be.
Vishnu.
Huh?
Vishnu?
Yeah. So Radha Rani Vishnu kahan se aa gaye? Right? Did you catch that?
Yes.
So Padma Puran is written by whom? Who wrote Padma Puran?
Ved Vyasji.
Ved Vyasji. And he is very smart, so he couldn't make a mistake. So if it's not a mistake, then how do we understand Vishnu ji aa gaye beech mein? Radha Rani se Vishnu ji kaise aa jayenge?
Because Vishnu and Krishna, they are not different.
Well, yeah, okay, but why Vishnu? I mean, we all know they are not different, but they're different. I threw that in just to make sure everybody's awake. Okay, so the point being made here is that we're not talking about somebody ordinary. We're talking about somebody who's non-different from Vishnu. So don't think Krishna is just an ordinary person, non-different from Vishnu. So that's what Vishnu's name is being being invoked here to make the point that Krishna is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the origin of all other Supreme Personalities of Godhead. And so with all his powers, he's loving one person more than anybody else. That's Radha. But he's loving her Kunda just as much as he's loving Radha. So just to emphasize the point of his godhood, it's not an ordinary person that we're talking about here. So that's the
I
only
think
reason.
is it to nullify anybody who feels that Krishna is not the Supreme Personality
Correct.
of Godhead?
Correct. Correct.
So he mentions Krishna as Vishnu if they think Vishnu is superior.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. But otherwise, this makes no sense. Like, how suddenly Vishnu show up here? Right? Okay. 216. Trailokya Prithvi Dhanya Yatra Vrindavanam Puri Tatrapi Gopika Partha Yatra Radha Bhida Mama. O Partha, in all the three planetary systems, the upper, lower, and middle, this earth is specially fortunate, for on earth is the town of Vrindavan. And there the gopis are especially glorious because among them is my Srimati Radharani. How beautiful is that? So among all the three worlds, earth is the most fortunate one. Why? Because Vrindavan is there. So what's so special about Vrindavan?
Because Krishna had all his Leelas in Vrindavan with Radha Rani.
Yes, it's a replica of the Golok Vrindavan. Spiritual.
Yeah.
And also, the gopis are especially glorious because among them is my Radharani. So Radharani is also a gopi.
Yeah.
So because Radharani is a gopi also. And because Radharani is a gopi, the gopis are very glorious. So earth is glorious, gopis are glorious.
Guruji, can I just realization?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like we just finished Bhakti Shastri course, and in the part, like you're reading the first 19 chapters of Bhakti Ratha Amrit Sindhu, and you're reading it, and you don't quite you get the greatness of Rupa Goswami, and he goes through such details about bhakti and everything, and then I'm reading this, and I'm like, so like you said at the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, these are conversations that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had with I don't remember the devotee's name, and then Krishnadas Kaviraj has written these down, and this is a biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is what's written in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So these are all the books that the Goswamis are writing. They're actual direct teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're not things that they have read in the Vedas. I mean, I'm sure it's in these are direct teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that's captured in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and captured in the books of the Goswamis as well.
Yep.
This I didn't know that until I'm reading this particular verse, because this is what it says. It says, on the earth, the best place is India. In India, the best place is Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the best place is Govardhan Hill. And Govardhan Hill, the best place is Radhakund.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very good.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for letting me share.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you. 217. Radha Sah Krida Rasa Buddhir Karan Arsab Gopigan Rasopar Karan. All that the gopis help increase the joy of Krishna's pastimes with Radha Rani. The gopis act as the instruments of their mutual enjoyment. So I'll explain that. Let's read the purport and who wants to read the purport?
I can, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
It is said that the gopis are divided into 5 groups, namely the Sakhis, Nitya Sakhis, Prana Sakhis, Priya Sakhis, and Parama Prashtha Sakhis. All these fair complexions associates of Radharani, the queen of Vrindavana Dhama, are expert artists in evoking erotic sentiments in Krishna. the Parama Prashta Sakhis are 8 in number, and in the ecstatic dealings of Krishna and Radha, they side sometimes with Krishna and at other time with Radha Rani, just to create a situation in which it appears that they favor one against the other. That makes the exchange of medals more palatable. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, what do you think?
Prabhu is just like the transcendental competition again here, is it?
How's that?
So the gopis are trying to at times they side Radha Rani, at times they side Lord Krishna to kind of compete.
Well, so I think you're close. The point is everything they do is with the purpose of increasing the pleasure for Krishna. And sometimes they're able to increase the pleasure of Krishna by pleasing Radha Rani or serving her or serving them together. But it's not always, how do I say it? It's not always pleased in the most positive sense, sometimes in the negative sense. So, for example, when Radha Rani will get angry with Krishna, the purpose was not to get angry and that she will be, appeased by him. But the purpose was to give the pleasure of appeasing her because she knew how much he likes appeasing her. So she'll get angry. Do you follow me?
Yes, Prabhu.
She's not getting angry because she wants to show her, dominance or her value or her, status. She's getting angry, so Krishna will be pleased by the process of appeasing her.
Yep.
Right? So again, everything they do. Similarly, these gopis, sometimes they will take the side of Krishna because it's going to please him. Sometimes they take the side of Radharani because that's going to please Krishna. So, for example, there are different Sakhis being mentioned. The Sakhis will consider Krishna as the everything. For them, the devotion is only for Krishna and nobody else. Some of them worship Krishna as their husband, although they will have nothing to do like husband-wife relationship. And anything other than Krishna doesn't mean anything to them. Right? And actually, somebody gave the example of Mirabai. What is she saying? Mere to Giridhar Gopal, dusro na koi. I'm owned by Krishna, nobody else. Right? Then they talk about Priya Sakhis. Their Priya Sakhis love both Krishna and Radha equally. Then they are Priya Narma Sakhis.
Voice
I'm sorry? Hello? Hello? Somebody was asking a question? Okay,
No,
anyway.
Prabhu, I think it's a network problem. We keep on losing you and you, like we can't
Oh,
hear
did you
you.
lose me again? Did you lose me again?
Yeah. Yeah.
At what point?
As you were talking, Prabhu.
As you're explaining the Sakhis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's start again.
What is the sloka number, Prabhuji?
Shloka number we are doing is 260.
217.
217. Yes. I'm sorry.
Thank
you. Okay. And it mentioned the 5 different types of Sakhis. So I had explained the Sakhis. Basically, they consider Krishna as, be all and end all. Everything is Krishna. Everything is for Krishna. The devotion is only for Krishna. They worship Krishna as if he's their husband. I was giving an example of Mirabai, who sings Mere to Girdhar Gopal Dusro Na Koi. It basically explains the feelings of these Sakhis. Okay? And then you have Priya Sakhis, who love both Radharani and Krishna equally. Okay, then the Priya Narma Sakhis, the difference between Priya Sakhi and Priya Nam Sakhi is that even though both love Krishna and Radha equally, but Priya Nam Sakhis favor Radha Rani. If there's a fight between Krishna and Radha, they'll take the side of Radha Rani. Excuse me. Then they're Prana Sakhis. For them, Radha Rani is everything. They exist simply to provide pleasure to Radha Rani. Nobody else. And some of their manjaris, like Anang Manjari, Rup Manjari, Rati Manjari, Vilas Manjari, the 6 Goswamis, when they were manjaris, they're all Pran Sakhis of Radha Rani. And that's why they understand it so well. Okay? And then Nitya Sakhis, of course, the saints and the devotees who become, from the strength of their bhajan, they become Sakhis. So they're called Nitya Sakhis. So those are the 5 kinds. Okay? And so the point is that they are there to help in the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. So in that sense, they are instruments for their mutual enjoyment. Okay? So I think we're going to stop here. Any further questions or comments? We're going to start with 218. Any questions or comments? Yeah, Ruparada Mataji, you got your hands up and raised.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The 2 groups, I just want to understand well. The Priya Sakhis, I think I lost it. Nitya Sakhis are the devotees who do bhajans, and Prana Sakhis are the ones who are doing everything. Radha Rani, and Prana is with dealing both with Radha and Krishna and taking sides here and there. And what is Priya Sakhi? I think I
Priya
missed
Sakhis,
that.
basically, they love Krishna and Radha equally. So they don't take sides. If you want to fight, go ahead. I'm not going to take sides. I love you both.
And one of the name is called Sakhis. So what are those people?
So Sakhis basically, your regular Sakhis, they are more into serving Krishna than Radharani.
Okay.
And
Then
I was an example like Mirabai, who's not a Sakhi, but the mood is Sakhi. She says, Mere Gidhar Gopal Dusro na koi. Means there's nobody except Krishna for me. So that's the mood of the Sakhis.
okay.
But they are there with Krishna. Mirabai was not with Krishna.
Okay. And the other one is the 8 Sakhis that we do.
Ashtasakhi,
Lalita,
yeah.
the Ashtasakis. So what are they divided into which group? What is the group name for them?
Oh, so they are Priya Narma Sakhis.
Could you repeat, Prabhuji?
Priya Narma Sakhis.
Priya Narma. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. They could also be Prana Sakhis, kind of hard to say. But Prana Sakhis basically, everything's for Radharani. Radharani is everything. So they're always with them. So it's Priya Nam Sakhi or Prana Sakhis. So I don't know which one is which, but there could be another of these 2 categories.
Prabhuji,
Haji?
I have 2 questions.
Only 2? Okay.
The first question is, who is speaking all this? Like, I know like who written, but who is speaking all these verses? What is the conversation?
Yeah, so this is like they're jumping. Sometimes Krishna is saying it. Sometimes Krishna is quoting Adi Puran or Padma Puran. So the point here is he's trying to make sure he brings out the point. There's no continuous dialogue. There's no 2 people speaking here.
Okay.
So he's quoting from different books, Padma Puran, Adi Puran, Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. He's quoting from different places. But they're all relevant to the point that Radharani is the highest among all the gopis. And their love is supreme because it's all about Krishna. Okay. So it's just, the point is that he's quoting from different sources.
Okay.
But there's no dialogue going on.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay. And second question, Prabhuji, here it's written Nitya Sakhi. All the Sakhis are Nitya, right? So
The reason they're saying Nitya is those people who are sadhan siddha. So sadhan siddha devotees who start as sadhakas, they achieve prem and then become eternal devotees of Krishna, and they are known as Nitya Sakhis. They're not. Sorry. Can you please keep yourself on mute, everyone? I'm not sure why you unmute yourself, Flo. Okay. All right. So, Nitya Siddha, there are two types of Nitya Siddha. Nitya Sakhis, there's a variation of that. Those who never become Baddha, who never become conditioned, that's Nitya Siddha. The second kind of Nitya Siddha, they were Baddha, when they became liberated, became Nitya Siddha from now on. Are you with me? Some who never become conditioned, some who became conditioned and then became eternal again.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah. And like, this is the hierarchy of the Sakhis? Like, no.
Well, no defined hierarchy, but I think there's implied hierarchy.
But they can jump into one to another. Or
Yeah,
they...
absolutely. I'm so sorry, wait a minute. I want to be clear. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. There's no reason why they can't be. What I don't know whether they actually, stay in one mode or they jump, that I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure, no problem. And Rupa Raju Mataji, you have your hand up? Okay, maybe from before. Anyway, anything else? Any other questions or comments? Okay. Then in that case, we should say Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya evacha.
Namo Namaha.
Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Uh,
Prabhuji, the recording of the previous class.
Hare
if
Krishna.
possible.
Yes, I said it soon, very soon.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure,
Thank
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
same. I am also
Hare
requesting
Krishna.
last week's recording.
I'm sorry?
I am also requesting the same for
Yeah, no,
last.
so everybody will get it. Everybody will get it.
Okay.
Yeah, because of my Guru Maharaj, I haven't had time to do a lot of things. And but I'll do the soon.
You're right, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you.